Hello everybody, this is Kiwi Capri. Thank you for watching my video today. I just wanted to do like a general life update, and so I'll start off by saying, I've tried to do YouTube maybe 4 or 5 different times and deleted it each time, and I feel like I'm just going right into it, am I? I feel like some of that is probably because I've dealt with toxic people all my life, and they kind of make it feel like you're not good enough. And then after a while, even though you work hard and you have, it's obvious that you're good enough to do a lot of things. A lot of people can do a lot of things if they have the courage and the motivation and the tenacity to do it. But after years of toxic people in my family and people who should be really close to you, it gets to you. So I remember I probably should have started YouTube whenever there was that big natural hair movement going on, because I really wanted to, but then my ex at the time was trash and was like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Every time I said I wanted to do something, he always told me an excuse for why I shouldn't do it, and now I know it's just to keep me back. And he did. He kept me back. So I guess the rule of thumb with that, I learn lessons from everything. I haven't been using what I've learned lately, but hopefully that will change. I just need some self-control and to be able to trust myself again. Anywho, so I have a little bit of fear with YouTube. I have all these different video ideas, but I don't want to get to the point to where I feel like I'm just doing this like a job and I'm not happy with it. So I want to find something that I'm really into. And right now, what I'm really into is like hair care, talking about my random smart facts that I can't tell kids because I don't have any. And like, most people don't like to hear the wise sayings because they like to do their dirt. And they don't want to be told by anybody that what they're doing is not cool. So maybe I put it on the internet and maybe I help some other people. Maybe it makes somebody feel better. I will be talking about God on this channel as well, because, it makes you kind of nervous because you never know like what the world's going to do when you talk about your relationship with Yahweh. I think one of the worst things that you could do if you're going to start a YouTube channel is to tell people that you know that you have a YouTube channel, because sometimes that, I'm sorry, I kicked the table. Sometimes that dictates what you're going to say because you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. I might have to just be brave and just come out and say it. I'm probably going to ruffle feathers. The only few feathers that I have in my life, which is not good, but I feel like if I speak, sometimes it feels like you have to hurt yourself sometimes just to say the truth and help somebody else. And so I don't know if I have the courage, but I guess I have to if I'm going to help somebody else, even if it means not having the bare minimum good relationship with people, because it's already like eggshell relationships. But okay, so yeah, I have a fear of YouTube. I want to be successful, but I get inside my own head and I don't have like the rich people cameras. I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah. Now, wasting my time. So there were 2 videos ago where I was talking about don't let a man waste your time, or people, don't let people waste your time. Mother, father, family members, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. If somebody is toxic, learn the best thing you can do is to learn about what toxicity is so you can take care of yourself. And I'll tell you something. When I was younger, I would watch my aunts and people I knew, they would be in toxic relationships. I didn't know what that was at the time, but they would have like men living off of them. They come eat the food, barely be in their children's lives, and then they would hop on to the next woman, do the same thing, come back and forth every so often, whatever, right? And I always thought, oh, I could never have a man live off of me like that. What would make a woman want to take care of a man? Now, being an adult, I feel like life humbles you, because when you're a child, if you are fortunate, you are more sheltered from toxicity, or you just don't understand, you're just still learning. And once you get out into this crazy world, then you really learn how much it sucks, because really people suck. People will say that the world is hard, but it's not. If people did what they needed to do to respect each other, to love each other, and stop being selfish, then we would all be successful. But that's another topic. The toxic person in my life was in a really, really bad spot. And so then my empathy inside of me was like, oh no, you gotta help him, because they're gonna possibly become homeless, right? And I've never been put in a situation like that before. Now, I'll be honest, everything that this person has done in their life has put them in this situation. Some things was not their control, but some things, there's a proper way to act at a job, and this person got fired from a job they liked. I feel so guilty saying this, but I'm not saying their name. This person got fired from a job they really liked just because they were being immature. Like playing around with friends, and I guess I can't really judge that, because if you're not taught, if you come from a trash background and you're not taught, or you don't learn from your surroundings and surround yourself with good people, then you're not going to know how the proper etiquette for work, because workplaces are fake. And you also, you just can't have a personality. They don't want your personality. Anywho, so a lot of the things that this person is going through is because of their fault. And I was just like, okay, listen, I understand you're going through hard times, and I really don't want you to be homeless. And so guess what? Even though I made that video two videos ago or whatever, I wasted some more time trying to help this person. And remember, I said they were toxic. It will always confuse me of how people could be so toxic to people who help them. People say hurt people hurt people. I don't believe that. I don't. I think that dumb, toxic people hurt people. Because empaths and toxic people, they kind of get attracted to each other. But I feel like a lot of it is because they are created the same way, right? So a toxic person has had hurt in their life. Everybody has had hurt in their life. But the toxic person's like, oh, I'm hurt so bad, so I'm going to make everybody else hurt like me. Right? Hurt. That's the hurt people hurt people. And it's almost like with every person that they're dealing with, they're trying, it's kind of cowardly. They're hurting other people like they wish they would have stood up and hurt the same person that hurt them, but they're too much of a coward to do that. Or maybe they love whoever hurt them or whatever. I feel like it's cowardly because they're not stepping up to the person who's done this to them. They're needlessly hurting everybody else. And then the empath might not have had love from their parents like they were supposed to, or from family members or whatever, same thing, right? But instead of treating people like trash, they instead try to get the love they never received as a child from everybody else. It's like almost like they're trying to fix their trauma by loving on people who suck, who might be similar, or like, because a lot of toxic people are similar, but some are more dangerous than others. So please be careful. My life has been on hold because of that person. I'm 3 months behind on my own goals because I've wanted to help this person. And I actually stopped talking to them completely maybe 2 days ago. So I think when it comes to toxic people, for those who deal with toxic people, as a perfectionist or whoever you are, you might feel bad if you go back and forth talking to this person or whatever. But especially if you don't have any like people who's in your life who can help you or whatever, give you love that you need, help you heal, then don't feel bad if you go back and forth, but be safe. I'm such a private person. It's kind of hard to talk about the stuff that people do to you and why. I have a lot of stories I could talk about with toxicity and how hard it is to deal with that stuff. Especially when you don't have somebody who's there for you, who loves you, any friends or family, because a lot of the relationships that I have are like the bare minimum type of stuff. My first YouTube channel, I got on and I talked about how my 7-year ex was like super toxic because I just wanted everybody to know the truth, right? I felt like my world was destroyed for no good reason, and I was mad, and I was super mad after the second narcissistic relationship. But and it's not even like what you, as a good person, you're like the light, and it's like the moths come and they're attracted, but they're not like even normal moths. They're just these crazy zombie moths that come to you. And like I've dated people on like different levels, literally different levels. Don't matter if they come from a poor background, a rich background, a middle background. All the guys were narcissists. And I was like, what the fudge? Because the crazy thing about narcissists is they do the same thing a normal healthy person would do. So anybody would be fooled. So then you're like, how can you trust anybody? How? And if men are raised to go out, party, and use women, maybe that's why they don't mature as fast as women. Because their brain is like a muscle, and what you practice is what will become you. Job update. Okay, so last video I was complaining about like a ridiculous person, and you know, it's funny because a lot of these companies, they don't care about you at all. If you die, they'll be like boo-hoo, and then they'll go find another person, right? Immediately start hiring for some other position. I mean, for the same position that you were in. And so then I'm getting to the point to where I'm a loyal person. I work hard, but I'm not gonna kill myself to, and it's hard. It's for me as a person who, so I'm an empath, but then I think some of it is like I was raised to basically, and it's gonna sound harsh, but I think a lot of kids are raised to be like a slave. Like you have to sacrifice yourself a lot to make your parents happy or other people happy. And so you get conditioned to do that. And then for work, it makes it hard because you have to deal with a lot of toxicity there. And like that lady, I I went and I talked to her multiple times, and I was like, listen, I'm not gonna be able to survive, you know? Like mortgage is like $1,700. and you're only paying me $1,200 twice a month, and I got other bills. And I told this person multiple times. And then, like, with the job, so say the job I was at, you're there 40 hours, and if you're like the people you're serving didn't come in, then you don't get paid for that. So I could be there for 40 hours and get paid only 20. So when I'm telling you, hey, I don't think this is working out for me, and that person turned around and like was trying to make it better, but it's like some things are an impossibility, and I'm not just gonna stay around hoping that everything's gonna get better and become poor and eat sandwiches living in my car because you want me to work at your place so you can make money and not have to worry about getting another person. Like, what? Crazy. But anyway, job update is like, I'm happier now. I'm glad that even though it sucked and I had to go in and be mature, and sometimes you just gotta force yourself to do things you don't want to do. And I went in and told the person, hey, it's not working for me. Even though they were rude and they were trying to manipulate me into staying, I said no. And it was a very awkward situation because I kept on being like, well, this is why. And then they were like, well, let me fix it. And then you're like, why are you freaking out? Just like, leave me alone. Like, I already told you, I don't want to be here. Um, Matter of fact, with all the crappy work I did, and well, my work wasn't crappy, but with all the work I did, taking work home, I feel like I should have got $100 an hour. What is that? Don't go into the medical field if you're an introvert. Actually, because I'm going to be real, I don't think a lot of people in my profession are real. But, like, if I tell you what I'm doing, it could be a problem for me because people in my profession are very catty. So hard. I want to say, but I don't want like it to backfire on me. I'll probably save it for another video. I don't tell everybody what I'm doing anymore. I kind of wish, like, I think that if you go on trips, don't tell nobody, because just be like, I'm going to be out for a while. I'm taking a break, because I find when you tell people that you go on trips, like, I come from like low income family and with a single mom. And I've appreciated the stuff my mom did for me. And not everything was perfect, for sure. I'm from a low income family. Ooh. And not everything, like, when you're low income, you don't think that growing up, you don't even dream of going to different places because you don't think that it's a possibility. And I feel like when I started to do what I wanted to do, I had more free income. And because of God, I was wise enough to know what to do so I can go on trips once a year, even when I wasn't making that much money. And thank God back in the day, there was less inflation. I think another lesson is don't let anybody get in your way. Don't tell people what you're doing unless you can really, really trust them. If you feel like there's some jealousy, don't tell them, even if you love them, because people will step on your neck to keep you down with them. And me going on trips, I have noticed like all the jealousy that I get from people. They think that because I come from a low income family or whatever, the way I look, I don't deserve to be going on these trips that I worked hard for. I don't go clubbing. I don't go to bars. I don't do all this crap. let me travel, you know? Another thing that scares me about being online and telling your business is you don't know who's going to see it and use it against you. And you don't, there's people who, if you notice, like, I don't know, I've been looking at the comments for the past year because I like to look at comments because sometimes people be cracking me up, be saying the wildest things. And I'm just like, we would be friends, you know, like, but some, if you notice, like there are a lot of people who are so hateful that they'll find a reason to like hate you. It could be anything, and they'll hate you. They'll just come on there and just be like, "I'm wearing a head wrap. Hey, your head wrap is appropriating black culture and black." You know, they'll say some crazy things like, "Oh, your head wrap's ugly." I don't know. Like, I can't even make these things up because I don't suck like that as a person. I don't go out of my way to like bully people. So I'm not even gonna try to figure out like what rude things. But I'll read comments from things that are just normal or whatever. And people will say the most hateful things. And even if people are beautiful or something like that, especially if someone's beautiful or they're doing something good for themselves. Lately, I've noticed people are so like vengeful and they hate them and they're saying all kinds of ugly, nasty things about like the most simplest things. And I'm like, that's a scary situation. I just know I'm gonna get some mean comments, and I don't know if I'm gonna like that because that's, to me, that's kind of abusive too. Like you're reading comments, and if you're like hearing, like you're reading it, so you're hearing it in your mind. Like I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I'll just skip them. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go upload this video and then start by making other videos. Finally, get my life on track. Okay. Bye.